I love a bao. Is it bao or bao?
Bao.
Bao, 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 bao.
Game begin.
Hi, I'm Maya.
Hi, I'm Sheryl.
So I heard that you're on the BT apprenticeship program, or you previously were.
Yeah, I was an apprentice. I started in 2020. I was on the DTS apprenticeship, which is Digital Technology and Solutions. And then, I finished in literally just last year.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I was on the Chartered Management degree apprenticeship. I've literally just finished and just secured my next role, which I'm really looking forward to. Well, firstly, what was your expectations of BT when you first joined back in 2020?
I feel like I had no expectations. Like, it was one of them ones where I just walked in with no plan and no strategy behind anything. It was just kind of like, okay, cool. I kind of like what this looks like, and it kind of fits in with where I'm going, because I didn't want to go to uni at all. Like, I was done with education. Like, one thing I kept saying is that I've been in education from nursery all the way till, do you know what I mean? I was so done with it, literally. So then I was like, but I still want to get the degree, but how can I do that but also work and have, like, money coming in?
Yeah. So I was in the same boat. I really didn't fancy like full on university. I still live at home with like my parents and things like that. I don't really want to leave there and move to like a completely new city. So that's what was good about kind of BT, is the fact that it's quite local, both Birmingham. It was a good fit for me, really.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about the apprenticeship program?
It was more just browsing online. Like, I heard about apprenticeships at school, but I didn't really know, what they were like, how, you'd go about finding one. I also heard a lot about it from my brother, because he was an apprentice as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so through that, I just started doing research online, and then I came across BT, I came across a couple of other companies, and I just shot my shot. That was literally it.
Did you apply for quite a few, or was it just kind of BT you were interested in?
I applied for 2.
Okay.
I didn't really it was one of them ones where I didn't really think that I would take it serious.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd get into it. Like, I still applied to uni, and I was like, you know what, let me just get education over and done with. It feels like I don't have any other option. So, I chanced it. I still applied, and then, kind of said if it doesn't work out, then I'll just go to uni and just firm it.
So, prior to joining BT, did you have any other jobs part-time or?
No, this was actually my first ever job. I know, it's crazy, but I never, to be honest, my mum didn't really let me get a job. I don't know why, but she didn't think, that's the thing. My mum didn't think that I'd kind of like be cut out for the job. Why am I bashing my mum? Like, no, in the sense where I've always been someone, like, I've always been book smart and things like, I didn't see myself in situations where I could go into an office and sit there the whole day and work on something, because I love doing different things. Like, I'm a very creative person. So my mum never thought that, I would ever be in something like this. And I was shocked as well, to be honest, because the fact that I sit in an office and I get work done and I do loads of different tasks, like, on a daily basis is crazy to me. And it's things that I actually enjoy. So I just love that.
So just a bit about kind of your training. Was that an in-person? Was it like joining meetings? Was it actual training courses?
So training for me was all online. So we had training platforms like LinkedIn Learning. We also had different crash courses online that we could use. And we also had specified buddies, we called them, who would like sit alongside with me and just talk me through what they were working on and give me like little tasks, see if I understand it. And if it's something that I wanted to do, I would kind of like shadow them and join their team and see if I fit there. And that ultimately led to me finding a team that I actually liked and enjoyed it and just working in that.
I think BT are really introducing like the buddy scheme now. I know that one of our colleagues, she mentioned that she's a buddy for like some of the incoming grads. So I think they're really trying to like pair people up and make sure that people feel comfortable, especially when joining an organisation where you have like no prior experience.
Yeah, and it's an amazing thing because you can get a first-hand, opinion, review, and it's honest because they've been there, done that. So you're talking to these people, you're talking to your buddies, and they're telling you real life experiences. It's not like, textbook. They've been there, done that. Yeah.
I think that's helpful sometimes as well, because I know that when you go to different events about apprenticeships and things like that, especially hosted by the company, I think sometimes it can just all seem too good to be true a little bit.
Yeah.
So actually when you do meet people that have been in your shoes or been in the organisation a long time, it's really helpful. How long was your apprenticeship, sorry, in terms of, was it 2, 3, 4?
So my apprenticeship was 4 years long.
I was saying them.
And when I came to the end of it, it was kind of like, because my apprenticeship was non-rotational, I had a few options, because over the years I had networked with people, spoke to them about what it is that they do, and I just kind of like slotted myself in where I felt like I would fit the best. And the process for me was, I think it was quite different to a lot of people, because mine was just like, I just rolled into a role straight away, like I didn't have to do anything else. Yeah, so that was very easy for me. It was very seamless for me.
Okay, mine was a little bit different. So I think especially with the Chartered Management degree apprenticeship that I was on, some people, because it is rotational, they aim to pick their fourth rotation as a job that they see themselves in.
Right.
Whereas I kind of did something completely different. I went for a role for my fourth year that I just wanted to try out. I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of experience. I didn't necessarily see myself there following the apprenticeship scheme. So what I did is, once I was coming to the end, I got the notification that I could then apply for different roles, and I literally just went onto the intranet and looked at all the roles that BT were kind of putting out applications for. The kind of apprenticeship coordinator was actually really helpful in first explaining the banding to me, explaining what skills each band requires. And then I was actually just really lucky that when I went onto the internet, there was a role that just really aligned with what I wanted to do. So one of the things that made me potentially not apply to an apprenticeship is the fact that I know that university has this kind of creating memories kind of vibe, and it's more about the social aspect. So that's maybe why I thought about going to uni. But what would you say that BT has kind of offered in terms of like making connections, work-life balance? How have you found that, especially while trying to complete a degree?
I think there's a huge misconception when it comes to apprenticeships. Like, a lot of people think when you become an apprentice, you have no social life because it's either uni or work and that's it. Like, you don't have time to do anything else. And I just hear that from a lot of people all the time. And I think the best example to use would be myself. Like, for me, I was going to uni as well, and I also had like a whole social media page going on in the back. Like, I was posting on social media. Yeah, and I was doing content, recording, editing, posting. And I still had the time to do that. I had time to speak at events within work and even externally as well. So it was like, it presented all these opportunities. And I think because I was so transparent with what I do outside of work, it was able to just, kind of fuse together. And I was meeting people and making friends inside of work and outside of work as well. Because you go into work and you see people in the same situation as you. Like, you have people your age, you have people in the same cohort who are on the same apprenticeship, and then you go to events and external things and you see more people, and it's like, you're making all these friends.
Yeah.
So it's kind of down to you to go out and make these connections, but it's there, the availability is there.
And have BT been supportive of that kind of content creator style of you?
Very. Like, I feel like because a lot of the time I'm sitting in an office and I'm doing, what's in front of me, I kind of feel like, there's certain days where it's like, straight admin work, so I can't be creative, and I'm a creative person. Mm-hmm. So kind of like being able to go home and do that creative stuff and just kind of like telling my manager, is it okay if I finish this off tomorrow and do this instead? Like, kind of like, he's very open with what I do. Yeah, it gives me options, helps me talk through certain things as well. And also just like supporting what I'm doing in the sense where if I say like, I'd love to post some content, but make it work-based, like I'd love to post like a day in a life, like, what do you think? He'd be very supportive. He'd be like, you know what? Yeah, that's completely fine. Post that. Like, it's great. So, yeah.
And in terms of university, you touched on that sometimes you may have to stay away. What did uni look like for you in terms of how often did you go? Was there anyone else on your course from other organisations? How was that set up for you?
To begin with, so the first couple of years, it was just my cohort who worked at BT. But as the years went by, our courses started merging with other like, you know, companies and what they were doing. So by the time we got to the final year, we were, you know, in these lectures and lessons with different students who we'd never met before from different organizations. So it was good to, again, build a, you know, a relationship with them. And a lot of them have become long-term friends now, so.
Oh, that's good, especially because it was in your local area as
Right,
well. You
yeah,
probably met
yeah.
people that probably live like next door to you kind of thing.
Yeah.
My experience was a little different. So I mentioned earlier that I joined just after COVID. So our lectures were actually online. And I think that's a bit of like a blessing and a curse at the same time. So what I will say is that it's so easy just to log on and do my lecture and then I can go about my day kind of thing. Because I know that some apprentices do have to travel a little bit further for their course. But then, so that's like the good side of things, that it's just like easy, accessible, like you said. But then sometimes it can be quite difficult to remain focused on like a 4 or 5 hour lecture online. So I think that's what's quite good about the BT courses, that there's like different options that you can take in terms of like whether it's in person or online as well. I think mine was just down to like convenience after COVID, that we didn't know how we were going to get around and things like that. But I know that now there's a lot more one-to-one and in-person opportunities when it comes to university. And if you could give one piece of advice or something that you wish you knew prior to joining to anyone that's interested in an apprenticeship, what would it be?
That's a good question. I think for me it would be to be open-minded. I think when I went into the apprenticeship, I was so prepared to like shut off everything else that I do, like kind of like push it to the side, and you know, my main focus is my apprenticeship. I'm not going to have anything else going on. Like, my social life is gone and, you know, it's just going to be completely hard and I'm just going to be locked in for the next 4 years. But it's not that way, you know, like, you're working and you're going to uni, but the support is there. You literally go in without knowing anything and they're teaching you daily. Even till this day, I'm done with my apprenticeship. I'm in a full-time role and I'm still learning. So I think be open-minded, be open to change as well, because things can change like this. You can decide, you know, tomorrow that you want to be part of a different team and you want to shadow someone else. So yeah, just put yourself out there, be open-minded. And I think, yeah, that's the best way to get through the apprenticeship.
Yeah, I think that's what's really good about BT as well, is the fact that there's so much flexibility to move around such a big organisation. There's so many roles that you just have no idea about when you first join. And kind of through making connections and meeting people, you find out about really like niche roles. And there's so many opportunities. So I'd kind of say something similar, is like, be open to anything. Who would have thought that we'd be sitting in a cafe today, filming, when we're actually normally kind of on a laptop most of the time. So yeah, there's so many different opportunities all the time. Good?